So I'm here with a couple of 2018 graduates, and congratulations on your recent graduation. And you both have jobs.
Yes.
Very exciting. What will you be doing after Olin, David?
I'll be working as a software engineer at Stripe. They're an online payments processing company in San Francisco.
And
I'm also wearing a shirt.
Out of
There you
coincidence.
go. Excellent. Good advertising.
See, I should have repped the company. I will be at IBM Research in Cambridge working on machine learning and user design to make sort of machine learning applications more accessible.
So you will both be software engineers. That's a field that scares a lot of people. It seems really hard to a lot of people. I'd love to know what you both did during your time at Olin to get you ready for these jobs.
Just like do cool projects. If you have for any class that I found really interesting, I would make sure that I like most of them have final projects. So make it something both that you can learn a lot from and that you can put on a resume and use that project to advertise the skills that you've learned. Other than that, internships helped a ton with experience.
Yeah, I would +1 everything that David said, especially to taking advantage of the opportunity to do as many projects at Olin as possible, because that's sort of where we have a leg up on a lot of other schools. So Make sure you do research, make sure you do as many class projects that are applicable to what you want to do in the end as possible. You can do a lot of practicing, especially for software interviews in particular. A lot of times you can practice most of the coding questions online beforehand. So things like LeetCode, I spent a long time doing a practice problem a day just to gain confidence and get those skills to go into interviews.
So you both talk about doing a lot of practicing. Tell me more about that, David.
Yeah, I think that practice interviewing both on your own. So like Katie said, I also just did a ton of practice problems online. There's a bit of pattern recognition where you start to see patterns in problems. And so if you are interviewed and you're asked a question, you probably haven't seen it before, but maybe you've seen something with a similar idea that you can apply. So that helps a ton. Practice all of the different stages. So that means that if you're doing a practice interview, don't just practice the coding part. Also practice the drawing out your solution and the explaining your solution. Also doing it with another person so that you can actually practice doing it with another human in the room with you is really important.
You mentioned before one of your interviews, Katie had a lot of work to do and you would not let her do it. You made her practice with you. Tell us about that.
Yeah, that was before my Google interview. I didn't need to practice any more algorithms. I had learned as much as I could up to that point. I needed to feel comfortable in what I felt was a high stakes situation.
Practicing with other people really also helps develop the skill of being able to show your soft skills in an interview as well.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't think about that when preparing for technical interviews, but once you've sort of cleared the basic level of being able to write out an algorithm and show your coding skills, you can also add on top of that, showing that you are really organized, showing that you are a fun person and have a nice personality and can take failure and ask interesting questions and all of those sorts of things. So practicing with other people rather than just on a computer helps you develop those as well.
One really nice thing about practicing with another person is that if that person gives you a question that you are stumped by, you can basically practice not being flustered. And there are strategies you can use to basically get, I would say, brownie points from the interviewer without ever actually solving their problem. So for example, if someone asks me a question and I can't come up with a good answer, I'll just come up with a bunch of bad answers and then explain each of my bad answers and also tell them why those are bad answers. And what I've done in the process is I've shown that I know stuff, but I never actually solved their problem. But in their eyes, they're like, oh, this person knows stuff, and it helps in their feedback.